So we continue our series of webinars Born to be Digital, Meet Generation A. And actually, we have done lots of webinars, part 1, what they are like and how to approach them. If you actually managed to watch, this very webinar, part 1, you can put a plus in the chat box. Well, together with you, we discussed different peculiarities of these kids, of Generation A kids. And now I will quickly remind you about those peculiarities, about their characteristics. So Generation A kids, they love 3 things. So here they love lots of things, but here I would distinguish actually 3 which I consider to be the most important for this very generation. So first of all, these are the kids who love creating everything by themselves. So they love creating their own video content, their audio content, any type of content. So these kids, they are really creative, and we as teachers, we need to give them necessary tools to develop this creativity. And in today's session, we will see actually how it could be done together with Team Together course. What else have we discussed in the previous part 1, Born to be Digital? So Generation A kids, they do love challenging tasks. Right? So they love this competitive spirit, and from time to time we need to add this feature to our lesson to engage them more, of course. And the third thing, that Generation A kids, they are video learners. YouTube have become their second teacher. That's why we don't have any other chances, but we need to add at least some pieces of video to our lessons. So I can't imagine my current lessons without video. It really it engages students. So, and actually all these we have in Team Together, and today, so we are going to concentrate on the Teacher Toolkit. So what Team Together course actually have for the teacher? So what instruments does it give, to make learning fun, to match all these characteristics of Generation A kids? Okay, so first of all, as you remember, we call Generation Alpha kids those who were born starting with 2010, and if we think now back to that year, so this year was prominent for some things. For instance, in 2010, Instagram appeared. Then iPad was developed, and the word app, was the most popular word. And actually, already these 3 features, they can define Generation Alpha, Generation A kids as real digital masters. And of course, so here, I think that you would agree with me, so that they are tech savvy. So they are friends with technology, but at the same time, we can call them the new old-fashionads. So what do I mean when I say the new old-fashionads? So in spite of all these technical progress, right, Generation A kids, they do need some traditional instruments. So here we can talk about books. So here we can talk about real people, communication with real people, with family, with friends. And nowadays, like never before, probably this phrase, blended learning, becomes really, really vital. So something that we need to learn how to combine, traditional learning, with these digital tools to match the needs of the new kids. Moreover, so we can call generation A like a slow it down generation. So more and more kids, yeah, and their parents, they know what well-being is. Yeah, they do care about their mental health, and actually they want their students, yeah, to be psychologically healthy. They want their kids to be psychologically healthy and mentally healthy. So, and the same I can say about us teachers, yeah, that actually we need to slow it down for a teacher. So a modern teacher just needs necessary tools like digital plus traditional tools, which will make our life easier. We don't need to spend much time with you for preparation. We just need to have the tools which will help us to conduct proper lessons. So, and today I will try to show you the tool which I discovered actually for myself, the tool which comes together with Team Together course, and hope that you will like it and you will be able to use it during your English lessons. So now, dear colleagues, can you please type in the chat box which standard teacher toolkit instruments do you use? Yeah, so can you please type in the chat box our traditional instruments which we actually used to use and keep using during our English lessons? And Anastasia, thank you very much. Right? Yeah, the most popular tool ever, books. Yeah, that's for sure. Elena writes music video. Flashcards, then I can also see a blackboard for sure. Cards from Yelizaveta. Toys, of course. Yeah, thank you very much. So all these tools, I also use them in my lessons. Victoria, thank you very much. My favorite songs. Can't imagine my lessons without singing, yeah, because they really add some like positive emotions to our lessons. Svetlana writes books, audio workbooks, yeah. Playing board games, Tatiana, thank you very much. Yeah, all these traditional tools, yeah, we do use them. Worksheets, Elena, thank you very much. Repeat words with cards and songs. Yeah, that's true. Presentations, Adriana. Thank you very much. Yeah, so actually here, yeah, I will now show you my list. Here you can see it on the slide. So books, workbooks, Blackboard. So I would also now add story cards, and if you use the whole word approach, word cards, toys. Yeah. So this is something which we can call a standard teacher toolkit. If we now talk about a new generation teacher toolkit, so what do we mean here? Does it mean that we don't need to use actually these standard teacher toolkits? Svetlana writes smart or intellectual board. Yeah, interactive apps. Yeah, definitely. So I would say that here we actually need our standard teacher toolkit plus something digital, yes, some digital tools. And now I can see that you know lots of them. So you write interactive apps, Quizlet, Anna writes, yeah, gadgets, mobile apps, and internet tools. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, there is now a great variety of them. And today in this very video, so I will share with you another one, and I hope that you will like it. Well, it comes together with Team Together course, yeah, and it's called presentation tool. And today you will be able to see how it works and how it can be used during the English lessons. So, and today's very session I planned in the next way. So first of all, I will show you a standard lesson with a standard teacher toolkit, and then we'll go through the same lesson, but with the presentation tool, and see actually the difference and how we can combine them both. Okay, so let's get started. So this is my standard lesson with my standard teacher toolkit, and I will be using Team Together 1, which as I have already mentioned, we do recommend it for year 2. So, and let's imagine that I came to my class and I brought this wonderful thing with me. So what do you think the topic of our today's lesson? So if I come to you with such thing in my hands, what do you think the topic of our today's lesson will be? Svetlana was the first, Ksenia, it seems to me, was the first one. Yeah, thank you very much. Toys, yeah, so, and using my traditional tools, using a piece of chalk, yeah, so I would probably write the word toys on the board, yeah, and inform my students that today we will learn lots of interesting toys with you. Okay, so now let's open your books, for example, and have a look at the picture. Yeah, so what I love about Team Together, that every unit starts with one page here where we have a huge picture. So, and I have lots of work there, and I know that there are lots of opportunities, you know, to show their progress, yeah, to show students' progress actually at this very page. Let's see how it works. So, for example, have a look at this picture and count the number of balloons. Can you please, dear colleagues, look at this picture and write the number of balloons? How many balloons can you see? Who will be the first? Olena writes 10, Svetlana writes 6. Actually, well, so I can see that we have different numbers of balloons. So I have count like 6. Yeah, so 6, these balloons which are above the bike. Yeah, probably it looks like 7 if you think that this one red balloon, this is not a heart-shaped balloon, but these are 2. Yeah, so it depends. Yeah, so if there are 2, so this will be 7. Ksenia, right, my children adore these pages. Yeah, so of course, if we can spend some time, you know, my 5-year-old daughter always asks me, let me look at this page. Yeah, let me see what is happening there. Yeah, so, and we need to use this time to entertain actually our students. So, and again, what I can do with my students, like we can count the balloons, yeah, then we can count the toys, but to make it more competitive and to add this challenge here, which Generation A kids really need, so I can, for example, divide them into 2 teams, and then use either my mobile phone or maybe an hourglass watch, set the timer and let them count, yeah, for instance, like this, and then we can choose the winner. So just add a little bit of competition in such a way so that the kids can revise everything that they have learned. Yeah, and for every correct answer here, you know, I try to praise my students because this is already a huge accomplishment for them if they can name so many words in English. Yeah, so we can have such tasks here. So, for example, with the light bulb questions, how many toys can you see? Yeah, for instance, find something purple. What other colors can you see? So here, yeah, kids develop their critical thinking. And you know, here at this very page, I often use language 1, yeah, because this page, this is a great tool to develop students' oracy skills, yeah, because we need to actually give them this opportunity to frame their thoughts, to express their thoughts, to describe whatever they see. And this page, this is a great tool to develop these skills. So then, we have worked with this page. Actually, this page is like for show what you know. Yes, so to make students be aware how much they know already, you know, and this is the role of the teacher to constantly remind students that you know this and you know this and you are only 7 and you already know so much. Because, you know, I have some students and when I ask them, what are you good at? Some of them answer nothing. Well, nothing. So I can't, well, I don't know anything, like something like this. And I just wonder, you know, so that they are simply not aware of how much they know. So that's why constant praise, yes, something which we really need to remember of. Okay, then when we move to the next page, as you can see, this is a vocab and grammar lesson. So we have actually revised, see how much we know, and now it's time to introduce the new vocabulary. So here in Team Together, I love these stickers, yeah, that they are in the course book. Actually in Starter, they are in the activity book, but we also work with the activity book during the lesson. And students, they are really enthusiastic when we need to stick, yeah, to stick the stickers to the students' book. So as you can see, so here we learn 10 words. Yeah, so this is a great amount of vocab for year 2, I would say. And again, if we talk now about some traditional tools, we think about Blackboard and flashcard. So we, for example, have stuck stickers, and then we can work with the Blackboard, yeah, and the flashcards. So if you know, and maybe you would love to share some of your favorite activities which you love practicing with young learners to practice vocab with the help of flashcards, you can share in the chat box. Well, I'll be sharing my favorite. So I love this combination of flashcards and numbers. You know, when I have this, we can organize a great variety of activities. So for example, the simplest one here, when you hide 1 or 2, yeah, and ask the students what's missing. And if we add a dice here, again, so we can organize lots of activities, like for example, to name the card according to the number on the dice. Yeah, for example, here it's 4, so they can name a puzzle, or you can ask them to name the 4 cards. Yeah, so it depends. Or we can organize here, for example, a dictation. Yeah, so you, for example, can name the words. Yes, and your students can give you the code. Yeah, for instance, car, bear, plane. Yeah, and your students need to write something like 1, 3, 2, or vice versa if your students already can write. Okay, so now matching. Yeah, so matching and using word cards. Yeah, so if we use the whole word approach, so and actually make our students get used to these unknown words, yeah, so matching with the word cards, yeah, something which I also love practicing with my students. And then of course comes a chant, yeah, where these words will be practicing. So now let's listen to this chant, and while listening, your task is to count the number of words that you can hear in this chant. Yeah, so the chant is here. Now I will play it for you. Okay, let's listen. Count the number of toys, please.
Unit 1, Recording 2. Listen and chant.
What's this?
It's a car.
What's this?
It's a puzzle.
A plane
and a dinosaur. A building set too. What's this?
It's a doll.
What's this?
It's a teddy.
A robot and a yo-yo. An action figure too.
Okay, so can you please write? Yes, okay, Elena was the first one to answer. Yeah, thank you very much. How many toys? 10. Yeah, so actually 10 toys. Very good. So, and as you can see, all these toys, yeah, so they come from the previous exercise. So we have practiced the words, yeah, and all these 10 words, they appear in this chant. What I love about chants, that actually one and the same phrase is constantly repeating. So as you can see, our grammar here is what's this? It's a, and the chant is a wonderful tool, you know, to make our students drill the full utterance. Yeah, so what's this? It's a, and they will be repeating it again and again, and rhythm makes it exciting. So and then moving forward, so of course, by the end of this lesson, we are approaching to the production. What we want our students to achieve, to produce, these toys plus phrases. What's this? It's a, in like a spontaneous speech, right? So, and what we have in Team Together, and I really love this activity, so that they need again to come back to that big picture and find these small elements. For example, let's try it with you. Can you please have a look at this big picture, and find a green dinosaur? When you find it, you can put a plus in the chat box. Can you spot a green dinosaur in the big picture? Yes, Elena was the first one. Here it is. And one more question. Can you please find a small teddy bear? Can you find a teddy bear in the picture? Yes, I can also see pluses. Here is a teddy bear near the swing. Right, so, and again, we're coming back, we're working with this picture again and again. So what's this? It's a teddy bear. What's this? It's a dinosaur. And we are approaching to this productive activity. So, and as soon as my children are able, if they are able to produce these phrases, of course, I'm feeling proud, and I praise my students for actually these ability, because for them this is a great achievement after the lesson to produce words plus grammar structure. And the ending of the lesson, so I remember my English teacher, she usually finished the lesson with a ball, and she was throwing the ball, and we were trying to catch it and name the words which we have learned during the lesson. But I also usually ask my students not only the words that they have learned, but I also ask them, how do you feel after the lesson? So, and usually, I can use it in language one. So because I really believe that it's important to develop emotional intelligence. So some students might answer like happy, excited. Some of them might be tired, for instance. You can also ask them about the activities that they liked or didn't like, so that you can plan your next lesson appropriately, because this is a very important feedback from your students, especially of the things that they didn't like. Maybe they were too much like writing in their hands, like hurt. So, and this is our standard lesson with the standard toolkit, right? So we have used here stickers, flashcards, word cards, a toy, a dice, so, and a book, for sure. So this is our standard lesson, and now we will see actually how we can conduct the same lesson using presentation tool from Team Together. So let's see how it works. So of course here we need an interactive whiteboard, so, and the same picture, with the standard tools, I asked my students to open the book here, so in order to balance on this heads down, heads up time, so I can project this picture to the screen. And for every lesson with presentation tool, I have a certain picture with the topic and the lesson objective written. So here I can ask my students to have a look at the board, and guess the topic. So in the standard lesson, I brought a toy with me. So here I'm using the board, and the presentation tool actually with the ready-made pictures for every lesson. Then the same task, so you remember that we were working with this very picture, and with the presentation tool, I have lots of widgets for teacher. So for example, when I wanted to actually add this time limit, and to make the game more competitive, I used my phone or a watch, for example, right? So here, I have this timer here installed, yeah, so I can use it, yeah, like a timer or like a stopwatch, so like, and it will be on the board so that the children can see it. Another thing which I also can use, so I can divide my students and they also can see the name, for example, of their team, the score, so everything appears on the whiteboard. Well, another thing which I also appreciate, that you have the teaching notes for every single exercise. For example, well, now I'm working with this page, yeah, and I want my students to count the toys, for example. So when I open the teaching notes, so I quickly just scan, so what is, for example, recommended here. And here, for example, the teacher's notes recommend me to use, first of all, pencils, to make sure that children remember how to count. Yeah, for example, how many pencils? 2, then how many? 3, and so on. So this is, you know, just, for example, there are probably some weaker students. Yes, so there might be some weaker students. So to decrease the stress from all of them, yeah, so to repeat counting, and then so that they are ready to count the toys. What else is recommended here? Tell students to use their traffic lights cards. Yeah, so with every teaching notes, yeah, so you will be recommended to use a different technique. Yeah, so lesson by lesson, you will be having a variety of different techniques to choose from for your next lessons. So traffic light techniques, have you ever used? If you have, so you can put a plus in the program. Ksenia asked, is this program a special edition for a teacher's book? A teacher's book, Ksenia, comes with a code, yes, so, and when you enter this code, so this everything is available for you, yeah, so this is the peculiarity of the new course Team Together. So traffic lights cards, if you have ever used this technique, yeah, so you can put a plus in the chat box. This is something which is really crucial, you know, when we deal especially with young learners, and in those cases when there are shy students which are reluctant to speak, or actually they are afraid to speak. So you can ask your students to prepare for every lesson 3 cards, yeah, a green one, a yellow one, and a red one. So, and it's very good when, for example, you give instructions for any exercise, or you teach them new vocabulary, or anything actually, and you need to make sure that your students have understood. So then you ask them, show me, so if you have understood, so please show me, for example, is it clear? So choose, show me the necessary card. So they know if it's clear, they will always show you the green card. If not, so, or more or less clear, the yellow one, and then the red one means that they didn't understand anything. Yeah, so, and for you, you know, if they show you the red card, it's clear that you need to explain it one more time, or maybe do a demo with some stronger students. So, but this technique, again, so it is recommended, you know, throughout the whole course. So, or another thing which I also love doing, this is a lollipop stick technique, and if you watched webinars by Chris or by Gennady below, so they have already told about this technique. Yet Tatiana put a plus. Yeah, I'm sure that you have heard about it, but I will just remind you quickly that again, this is this technique is aimed to involve absolutely all the students. Yeah, so you can either, well, choose any type of sticks, yeah, and write the names of the students. So in order to choose, yeah, different students, or you can ask your students to choose any name from the class, but this technique will help to engage all the students during the lesson. Now, remember the time when we were using flashcards, putting them to the board, writing the numbers, for example, the words. So what I love about presentation tool, that you can project it to the board, yeah, so just it's all there, so you can see the colorful pictures, the numbers, plus the words. Yeah, so everything is written, so you save lots of time. You don't need to stick them on the board to write anything. So you can play here what's missing, because here it's actually possible to hide the cards. The dice, yeah, so all you need is just to bring the dice to switch on presentation tool, and you can practice different activities. Another very interesting technique which I was able to see in one of our partners' school, it's Dominanta school, one of the Kyiv school. So they used such a technique. So one of the projectors actually projected to the floor. Yeah, so not horizontally, but vertically. So the students were able to jump, on the different words. So of course you can organize it with this set of flashcards if you can protect your flashcards, but to add a little bit of TPR, yeah, we can also project it to the floor. Another thing, so again, remember we were practicing the words with you in the chant, yeah, so of course I could play the audio, but when I played on the board, yeah, on the interactive whiteboard, every single phrase which is being practiced, it's highlighted, yeah, with yellow, as you can see. It's like karaoke version. For every chant or song you have a karaoke version. And if I open again my teaching notes, I can see ask them to draw one toy from the new words. So I can ask my students to choose any toy they want, yeah, from this chant, yeah, and draw it, or from the words which we have learned. And then when we play the song, yeah, they will be actually showing, every time they hear that toy, they will be showing their pictures. So even if you are not ready for the lesson, yeah, so you didn't have time to find some interesting, tasks, motivating tasks. So very quickly, so you can open the teaching notes, and for every lesson, you will find such an interesting idea for every task. And for the end of my lesson, I have again objective review. So here I have name 7 toys. Yeah, so of course we remember that with my students we learned 10 words, but if they by the end of the lesson can remember like 7 words, I would already congratulate them and say that they are really very good students and have achieved a lot. Yeah, not all 10, but 7 is already fine. Another thing, which impressed me a lot with presentation tool, that I have ready-made warmers, and all of them, they are colorful, they are interactive. You can put a plus in the chat box if you remember yourself when you were searching the internet to find something entertaining, to find something exciting. I remember myself, that constantly so I can see pluses. I was looking because I want something new. I want something which will entertain my students, because I know that young learners, they constantly need this, some challenges, something interactive, something fun, funny. So here with presentation tool, when I was actually trying to learn the way this tool works, and I saw that for every lesson, a ready-made warmer, for example, we have learned the words in my next lesson. So here is matching, yeah, so they can do it interactively like this. Or the word snake, yeah, it's ready. Or for example, I like this activity very much, so they can go to the board, so they can see the picture. So they need, first of all, to name it. Yeah, so they name, for example, a car. Then they touch the board and they see the car, the word. Yeah, so something which I think is just marvelous, yeah, if I have such a tool with my students. So this is the way presentation tool looks like. So if you enter the code, so you can see every single unit. You can download any unit you want. So, and you have 2 options. You have a plan options and you have a teach option. So a plan option, so you have some ready-made warmers, some plan according to the teacher's book, or you can add something if you want to add something of your own and save it. A teach option, if you know what active teach is, you can also put a plus in the chat box if you have ever heard about active teach. This is a tool which was rather expensive. So presentation tool, this is something like Active Teach, where everything becomes interactive. If you want to listen, you just play and you listen to the audio. If you want to watch the video, you just play and video becomes interactive, right? So what you have there in presentation tool, yes? So for example, Team Together 2. So you have class audio, class video, tests, additional photocopiables. You have vocabulary boosters. If these 10 words are not enough for your students and you feel that they need more, there are vocabulary boosters. There are also students' games, yeah, and there are also extra practice activities, yeah, which I find that I don't need any time to spend, to search the internet. Well, just can spend this time for something that I like. So this preparation is for me already. And now I will show you that as soon as you've got the teacher's book, you have your code with you. So all you need, you enter our Pearson English portal and you need to activate this code and you can use this presentation tool. So possible to enter online all the time, or there is another option, you can download it to your computer and it will be always with you, even offline. Well, so I think that the well-being of English teachers are really important. So I do recommend to try presentation tool together with Team Together course and see how it works with you.